What up, people? Borrowed1 here, and this is going to be my review for Ratchet and Clank on PS4. I'll start off with the visuals. These are some of the best visuals you'll find on the PS4. It comes near Pixar quality, so while you're playing the game, you will feel like you're playing a movie to some extent. This was also said about Tools of Destruction back in 2007 on the PS3, but here, it's definitely closer. The detail here and the graphics are amazing. There's a great image quality overall, there's great lighting, there's a decent amount of AA, so it makes the game look very smooth and eliminates most of the jaggies. And they've also managed to recreate some of the levels from the original game, like almost scale for scale, and it looks amazing on next gen. The game is only 30 frames per second, but at the same time they use a heavy amount of motion blur, and the solid frame rate of 30 frames helps it feel smooth and responsive. So overall, you don't feel sick playing this at 30 frames. I was worried about that because the original games used to be 60, and this, most like other games now, have chosen 30 over 60 because they want to push graphics. Insomniac even said that that's what their plan is going forward, to focus on 30 frames. So, if the games are as smooth as this, I won't mind it, but just makes you wish there was a PC version of this almost. When it comes to the story, it's an interesting new take on the first game. The beginning and ending are a little flawed in terms of pacing. You start out as Ratchet, okay, that's fine. Then it goes to Clank, just like suddenly. And then it's just, you suddenly meet. So the beginning feels like it was rushed a little bit. And the ending was a little underwhelming, the final boss. Well, I'll get to that later. But the ending of the game in general, a little underwhelming. It makes you want to watch the film, so maybe that was the point of this game, but it still should have been a good ending for the game in general. But overall, the story was good. The middle part of the story was fantastic, much like the first game, but with some new added features and new added story elements, new added characters. I'll get to the rest of the characters later. But yeah, familiar, but has enough new stuff to give it substance. The Galactic Rangers are very bland in my opinion. I feel like they could have done more with the characters. It's like they introduce them, they make them out to be these new characters in the series, but then the game just doesn't evolve much past that. There's new characters I want to know more about, and it looks like I'm going to have to go see the movie to find out about those characters. So I feel the game could have had more character development. Gameplay. It's Ratchet and Clank. Gameplay is what it's known for, and yeah. This is definitely Ratchet and Clank on next gen. This is exactly what you would expect from Insomniac and Ratchet and Clank. It's familiar, and you can play it like the original games. I'm glad they brought that back. This is the first Ratchet and Clank game since A Crack in Time where you can use the circle button to shoot, and use a swing shot, and use all your gadgets and everything. Starting with All for One, they took away circle for attacking because they wanted to make the control scheme more modern with more games. And here you can play it with the more modern style, but you can also set up the controls to feel just like the original game. So I thank Insomniac for going back to that form. It's fun. I mean, there's not really much to say else. It's a very fun game. I'm surprised it's actually able to still be fun all these years later. Like, that's one thing that everyone has said. The formula is starting to age in a way that it's becoming more and more like the same thing almost. And this definitely is more of the same. They've taken out stuff that was in games like A Crack in Time. And, like, we don't have the wrench tether here, we don't have the hover boots here. But they added the basic stuff is fun and solid. Like, here I'm exploring, I found a card. The controls just feel overall smoother, and it's just really fun still. It makes you wish they would actually take the features from the future games and put them in here, because all of that on one package on PS4 would be amazing. The crazy new weapons are awesome. They have the pixelizer. That's probably my new favorite weapon in the series. I mean, my bad, in this game. My favorite weapon in this game is the pixelizer for sure. I just like the way, like the concept. It took the PS4 to bring out the ability to make 8-bit graphics. You can upgrade all the weapons, and the pixelizer is awesome. Another one, the proton drum, I'm not a huge fan of, but it's okay. And then most of these weapons are repeats because they're deep in the series at this point, so they can't come up with a new weapon for everything at this point. Warmonger's back, the Rhino is back. Overall, a lot of weapons, and they're very fun to use. The card system here is, it's nothing special. Like, every game now tries to have a card system of some sort. And this one is interesting because this is how you unlock the Omega versions of the weapons for challenge mode. You have to collect the weapon set for each specific weapon. So even though I have certain guns at level 5 right now, I can't buy the Omega yet because I'm missing the cards. So I have to go explore the world and find the cards. And you also just get them from random drops when you kill enemies and explore. The Trespasser puzzles, a lot of people said that these were a downside to the game. I didn't find a problem with them. I thought they were okay. They did take a while, they did disrupt the flow, but eventually, it's a good little brain teaser. Eventually you find the right path, so I got the trophy already for beating the game without using auto hack for any of them, so overall, just a brain teaser. It does take a little longer than it should, but at the same time, it's not a hurdle. The Clank puzzles, on the other hand, are challenging, and in one area I was literally stuck there for a while because you had to think very critically on how to get this across. It looks so simple, you try it, nope, that's not working, I'm forgetting something. Then it'll come to you, and that took me like 30 minutes to figure out one Clank section. And it wasn't even like something obvious. Eventually you just try everything possible and you find it out. Hoverboard racing is awesome. It's very fun, and I love the way how fast it is in here. In the original PS2 game you could boost and it was kind of decent speed. Here it's fast. It's very, very fast. It's a very exhilarating burst of speed. And I got all the gold, all the first place prizes. You have to do those to get the Rhino cards if you want them. The spaceship gameplay is fun, but the controls I feel should have been swapped. You aim and move with the left stick. That's something that I thought that should probably stay back on like the PS1 and N64 era. We have two sticks now. We should be able to aim with one and move with the other. It just doesn't really feel that good when you think about how it felt in like Going Commando or Deadlocked or even Cracking Time. Although Cracking Times was very simple, but yeah. So I feel like they should change the controls for that. Using Raritanium to upgrade weapons is back from Into the Nexus and Tools of Destruction, and it's a blast. I love the fact that you can upgrade. I wish the Raritanium was easier to obtain though. I wish there was a bolt multiplier type thing for Raritanium. Because as it stands, the most you'll get at a time is 3, unless you like level up all the weapons, but that takes Raritanium. So it's kind of like a lose-lose situation when it comes to trying to get more Raritanium. Eventually though, you can get Raritanium just by using weapons. You have to just level them up all the way. So that's that for the Raritanium. And the jetpack is back, and it's awesome. It's back from Tools of Destruction. Same complaint I have with back from Into the Nexus. Same complaint though I have with Into the Nexus. I wish you could use it in more areas. It's part of Clank, so I wish you could use it. They took it out for certain levels because I guess it was a game break, but come on. Jetpack is awesome. Please let us use it. I also wish there was an option to switch between the helipack and the thruster pack at will. The other games had this. The first game definitely had this. And with this game, you start with the helipack and eventually you get the thruster pack. But the thruster pack then becomes your only means of playing the game. You can't go and change it back. I wish they had a way to change it back because thruster pack is cool, but the helipack is classic Ratchet and Clank. So I like the helipack more. I wish I could just have it on at will. The final boss is far too easy, although I did have a Rhino when I went to go fight it, so the question remains there, was I just overpowered for the boss, or did they make him too easy on purpose? I saw the level design of it. They wanted to make it a hard fight. They wanted to show it as a challenge. But with the Rhino, I just flew through it before I think I even got to like the second half of what was supposed to be there. So I guess just make the final boss harder. And by the way, I'm playing this game on hard, and I recommend you play it on hard because other than that, it's not a challenge at all. It's literally like there were only a few difficulty spikes in the game, like 2 areas where I died more than 3 times in a row. So yeah, I recommend you play this on hard for anything of a challenge. So the final for this game, at $40, this is a steal. This is a must-own for PlayStation 4 gamers. Ratchet and Clank fans, you have to check this out. It's great. And it's full of content, full of laughs, full of great visuals, content, and gameplay. I recommend this game highly, and I give it a 9 out of 10. Must have, especially for PS4 owners. So that's my review of Ratchet and Clank on the PlayStation 4. Thanks for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to that One Nation Under PC and PlayStation. Peace.